Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Civil Warrior, and welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to be doing something I actually was planning on doing for quite a long time. And this is a very detailed tutorial on becoming Uncollected specifically. I will go back and do ones for Proven, and which is Act 4, and maybe Act 3, and of course Cavalier when I become that. But this is specifically focusing on Uncollected and how to get there. I actually have someone in the comments who is going to in the chat on Constant Champions who is going to join my alliance. So shout out to sorry for forgetting your name. It is I think your YouTube name was Mika. I'll go ahead and shout you out. Because he didn't really request it. I said I would make it because first of all, it's to help him and also to help other people as well. So this is basically just a detailed guide on everything for Uncollected, as well as tips and tricks, and my personal tips and tricks, and specific examples on what I did to become Uncollected. Now, I think we'll just go ahead and get started because there's not much any more announcements or anything I really need to do. But we'll just start by going over like specific things to spend your units on. So units are, of course, the main currency in the game that you use for just about everything. And these units, of course, are just, you want to save them up, of course, because you're going to need revives. Any player that plays this game, of course, you're going to need potions and revives. There's no, for me specifically, there was like no beating Uncollected, beating the Collector without those potions and revives. With exceptions of certain good champions that you have as a good star, those are really easy to get. I mean, I'm not easy to get. They're really good to use for this, but like they're not. So I'll go over some like just in general good champions in this game that could help with the Collector. Evade champions is a good one. So yeah, we'll go ahead and just keep it going. So units, you want to spend them mostly on potions is what I did. So save up for units for that. And you don't really need to do it for other things. Get arena crystals can help you. So if you're an arena grinder or an arena player, you can use the arena battle chips, which are up here, as you can see in the currency, are the kind of like brownish and blue ones. I have 116 of them, which is broke as crap. But basically, if you save up those, you can get some arena crystals, which you can use for this. Now, we'll go ahead and I'll go over to fight because there's I want to discuss some things leading up to Act 5. So, of course, you guys, of course, you have to beat everything before Act 5, which includes Act 1 through 4. Now, I'll do a more in detail stuff for Act 4 eventually. Act 3 and Act 2 and Act 1 aren't actually that bad and aren't that difficult, so I probably won't go over those, but if you guys want me to, let me know. For those of you who are lower leveled. But Act 4, the main problems with main difficulty is Venom here, and of course, Maestro here, because those are basically the main problems in Act 4 that are difficult to beat. And see, once you beat Uncollected, it's pretty easy to 100% culmination there with Maestro. So it gets easier to go back and do these 100%. For example, I have Act 2, Act 1, and Act 2 100%. It's easy to go back and do those after you are Uncollected. So once you get here, after and past that Maestro, you want to get here. You'll get to Act 5. So the Collector is at the end of Chapter 2, right here where it has the mystery symbol, the question mark. And basically, anything... the start of Act 5 isn't too bad, but we'll go into some detail real quick in a little bit right here. But yeah, we'll go and we're doing pass and everything in this video, so there's going to be a lot. Fair play is we'll go ahead and start with, but it's mostly the Collector quest that I want to focus on too. But we'll go ahead and do each. I'm debating whether to do we'll do each individual chapter for paths and stuff. So basically, I don't really care about this team because I'm not going to be like redoing it right now because I know I already 100% completed this one. Let's just go ahead and wait for it to load. Alright, so the path, of course, I can't really tell what path I took first because I've 100% completed this one. Basically, we'll just be going over nodes and best paths, good champions to use for certain quests in this video. So I would advise, actually, if you zoom out here, my tips for questing in basically any quest, avoid champions that are very good, or most of the recent ones, and any champion that is overall good. For example, Guillotine 2099, I avoid. MODOK, I avoid. The only reason I avoid MODOK is the auto block. But if you have a person with unblockable, it's not too bad. I avoid people like Hyperion. He's not that hard to get around, but still. Warlock is one you should avoid. Any champions like that should be avoided. For example, yeah, this Hyperion. Mordo, his stun immunity can be annoying if you have the parry mastery, and we'll go over masteries in this too, just in a little bit. But yeah, for example, it's not that hard to go here. The only thing I don't avoid Yellow Jacket, but the only thing annoying about him is Power Sting. Power Sting can get annoying. But yeah, other than that, this quest is not too bad. So if you go up here, which this way is probably the best way to go, I would say. Because if you go this way and to one of these, Quake is one to avoid, as well as Hyperion, which was over there. I would say go to this one. Only has one. Yeah, they both only have one path. And what I would do first is would go up to Guillotine, and these orange nodes have energy resistance, and I'm pretty sure they're the same throughout the entire quest. More likely to activate Special 2. Her Special 2 is not that hard to dodge. Special 1s are easier to evade, but most of the time when they have these, especially when there's, I don't think there's any up to Uncollected, but what they have, the local node that has Special 3 bias, where this defender is more likely to activate Special 3, that is so damn annoying because literally basically they never want to activate Special 1 or 2, so you're basically screwed. So, but there's none of those up to Uncollected, I don't think, so that's nothing really to worry about. But there's also, and then I would go up to Gambit, of course. If you do not have Venom, I wouldn't recommend going to Spider-Man, because Venom is great. The characters that got me through this really is Venom and Thing. Thing, they're both very good. Venom is very good against literally any Spider-Verse character, because he stops their evading. Miles Morales evades, Spider-Man evades, Spider-Man Symbiote evades, Spider-Man Stark Enhanced especially is very easy to beat with Venom. It's just, with Venom, it's hard. It's much easier there. So you can do that, but I would go up here to Dr. Voodoo and Captain America. That's why I would go 4-star chest too. And plus, there's no specific nodes. Well, there is actually. No, Flare is one of them, kind of the main one in this one. The opponent gains 300 attack, but degenerates 100% of their max health over 60 seconds. So this is very kind of annoying. It's not as annoying as some of the other ones, like Bane. Not the DC character, but stuff like this could be annoying. I think this is on every single one. Yeah, Flare. So each quest kind of has their own thing to it, their own special node to each quest, and sometimes throughout multiple quests. For example, this one is Flare. So basically, the class bonuses help with that and help lower the degeneration rate. But other than that, this one's very annoying. The way to get around that is just basically kill him as fast as you can, because the opponent gains 300 attack. So that's the only thing you can really do is hit him as hard as you can before you die. And yeah, so after that, of course, it takes you to Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch this path isn't too bad. Nightcrawler can be a pain. I hate fighting Nightcrawler a little bit. Some people say he's very bad, but his evading is annoying to me anyways. And yeah, he doesn't have that much besides 60% health, and as well as Flare. So they all have Flare, I'm assuming. And Venom Pool is not that bad, neither is X-23. And we'll go ahead, and then there's Falcon. Falcon isn't too bad. There's not much to him besides the same Flare. Kang can be annoying. You don't really need revives on this one if you have the right champions, but maybe at least 1 to 2 revives are recommended, or I'm not 1 to 2. It maybe 1, or 0, not even. But it's not that bad. So it's just Flare. These ones like Flare, and then the other ones like Bane we'll cover in the future in this video, can be very annoying. But other than that, Kang is not that hard. His special one is basically the same as Iron Man's, so it's pretty easy to dodge. And yeah, so let's go ahead and we'll continue on to the next quest. It's not too bad. It's just that special one's pretty easy to dodge. Special 2 can be dodged pretty easily as well. Alright. And actually, before we... no, I'll just keep going. I'll do that after this. So, next, I think... I don't know if I should do each chapter individually. I think we should do that in maybe a different video, with each path guide in a separate video. Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. Save time on this. So, I think we'll just go over just specific bosses and specific ones, like probably the end. Archangel here. Let's go. We could go over that one. Archangel is a very, very annoying champion to fight against if you get hit as well. But he's a very great champion if you have him. I have a 5-star of him. But other than that, it's very, very difficult. So I don't think anything past this I'm not going to worry about right now. We'll do an act... we'll do the path in an Act 5 guide. And mostly I'm doing this... to help out people, as well as I didn't really do the story for my videos, so or at least much of it, and I don't want to do it for Act 6 because I'll just suffer in front of everybody. So yeah, so we'll go ahead. I think we'll focus on just the collector quests and some of the other ones, but anything up to that is basically not that hard. You could use some revives here and there. It's mostly just for here is Maestro and Venom that you want to watch out for, and other than that, it's not that hard. I'm not saying it's not that hard, but for people who it is hard for, I would recommend bringing the best champions you have, of course, and Endgame with Act 3. I think. Yeah. So Wisps here is the guy who I'm not gonna show you any chats or anything because I don't want to. I want to respect the privacy if he doesn't want to show that or anything. But Wisp right here, give another shout out to him. He's the one who kind of requested this video, but I also just kind of did it anyways. He is the one who probably who I made this video specifically for, as well as for everybody else, is because he is having trouble with I think he said he didn't start till 3 days ago, but I'm just trying to do this to help out some people. So I hope he doesn't mind if I view his profile right here. Yeah. So like any characters, like these. Thing is, of course, a very, very good one. Is what got me through it. So Thing will help him out very, very much. And I think other than that, we'll go into the collector quest reel here. We'll go into look at the collector. I clicked on the absolute wrong quest. But, and then we'll go over some champions to use for this. And, like, for those of you who don't fully understand how to level up properly or, like, rank up and how all the catalysts and stuff work, we'll go over a little bit of that. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the collector. Because the collector is very bullcrap. Because, literally, it took me so long to beat him. So long. The main point of this video is to tell you that you can't rush it. Don't rush it. If you rush it, you're gonna end up just gonna waste more units than you have, and then just it'll rush you. So don't rush it, and therefore you'll do better. Especially also in battle, don't rush it. If you be patient, it's easier to defeat champions, and it's easier to do it. But if you try to rush through all up to Act 5, if let's say you're on Act 3 and you try to rush up to Act 5, it's not going to go too well for you. You got to have patience with it, or it's probably not going to go too well. So I have, of course, 100% completed this because I swore never to go back here, but oh well. So the collector here is the mystery node right here. This is throughout the entire, I think, Chapter 2, is role reversal. Role reversal you got to watch out for. Basically, the class bonuses are switched around. So it can be annoying if you forget about it, but other than that, it's not too bad. Basically, role reversal, it switches the class bonuses. So down, if the class bonus, if you have the disadvantage, you technically have the advantage. Or if the opponent has the disadvantage, they have the advantage. It's just pretty annoying if you forget about it. Bane is also the really annoying one for the entire chapter 2 of Act 5, is whichever champion lands the first hit will place a curse on the opponent. And this champion deals 250 of the current health and as direct damage per second. It's not it's technically degeneration basically. And whenever a champion with the curse strikes the other opponent, if the curse has been on the same champion for 10 seconds, it passes to the other champion. So this thing just switches around a lot. So let's say, so you first start the fight, right? And then you hit, let's say you hit the collector here first. If you hit the collector first, he has the disadvantage here and doesn't rapidly loses health, but it's not. Don't expect it to be like very good for you if you get the first hit because he barely takes any health if you do that. So it's not gonna be easy. You just gotta bait it out. And I'll do some I'll actually fight him right here. No, I don't want to go all the way up to and do it. Maybe I'll fight him again in a future video. Maybe just take on somebody with him. I'm just fight him again. You know, see how that went. But basically, and there's a timer of that degeneration. Once that timer runs out, whoever gets the next first hit applies it to the other person. So and vice versa. So it just switches around a lot. And aggressive is defenders more aggressive and excels at defensibility and like heavy and dash attacks. So watch out for his heavy attacks. Heavy attack is not that bad. It's not that hard to dodge. Heavy attacks for the collector, I would basically you just need to dodge. I mean, it's not that bad, but sometimes it can be annoying. But he's also got some different offensive abilities and dash attacks, so he's very excels at that. And that's all the notes he's got. It's basically just Bane and Row Reversal that you really want to watch out for, as well as his just normal attacks. Which, if you don't know what his attacks are, you can check it out in my collector boss video, which is just me versus the collector. I've all the champions I used to beat the collector. You can go check that out. I'll put a link in the description. And yeah, so that's basically that. Let's go ahead and eventually I'll do an Act 4 and Act 3 probably thing. But only if you guys request it. If you guys want me to, I'll do it. But just right now, I'm mostly focusing on Uncollected and how to get there. So basically, we'll go over masteries now. Mastery settings. 2 main mastery points you want to have for Uncollected is in proficiencies, which is parry and dexterity. Of course, those are necessary for literally anything. If you have the Stony Mastery cores or units to get those, get these right off the bat in Constant Champions, because these will help you throughout the entire way and all in the game everywhere. So parry, of course, basically parry it's a well-timed block. So if they're about to hit you, like the second before they hit you, you block it, it'll stun them, and that's what's good about parry. And if you master it, it has just inflicts stun blow it just does it for longer. And dexterity, which is not that one. Dexterity is this one. Basically, dexterity kind of allows you just to dodge long-range attacks. For example, Iron Man or Kang's, as we just said, Special 1. You cannot dodge that unless you have dexterity. Otherwise, you have to block it. You're forced to block it or get hit if you do not have dexterity on that. So if you when you're doing the story, I would just have this unlocked right off the bat. It will help you a lot. And you don't have to master dexterity, but it could help eventually, because if you master it, people like Sentry Special 1, it'll allow you to die. It's a bigger blast, and for longer. For example, also Agent Venom, it'll have or Agent Venom Special 1. You can dodge like the bullets more, and it's helpful. It's helpful if you max it out, because then it just allows you to dodge more of the specific move. And there's also one in defense that is recommended, is the healing ones here, but I actually did it without that. So it is possible to do it without those 2 healing ones, because I didn't get that till after I was Uncollected. And it's basically recommended, but you don't have to, because I did it without it. But again, I'm not all of you guys, so you guys can do it for however you like and whichever helps you more. And having it will probably help you more. It basically just heals you rapidly over time. Willpower, however, is actually just basically amplifies that. Alright, so now we'll go over some champions to use. and basically that. And also we'll go over the benefits of Uncollected after this to show you all of what it does. And each quest, of course, has its active title that is a benefit from beating the chapter. Well, in Act 5 and Act 6, Chapter 2 and Chapter 1 for Act 6. But also, the other ones, it's the whole act. So I have gotten a lot of champions over the years, and been a while trying to max Doctor Doom there. A lot of 5 stars, but like the main people I used for this was Thing. I did not have Human Torch at the time. I had Thing, I had Venom, I had the champion. The only reason I have the champion, people, I know he's pretty trash. The only reason I have him is the synergy with Thing and the indestructible synergy. That's the only reason he was on my team. And he can be decent because if you save him for the boss, and you have more than 4 persistent charges, he heals a bunch when his Unstoppable is active. But that's basically it. I didn't use Mordot. The only reason he's upgraded is because he was my first 5-star. Did not have Quake. I had Gwenpool, Thing, Venom, Champion, and if before I had Clairvoyant, I would use Colossus. I used to use Captain America, but not really. I like it maxed out him because I love Captain America. And most of these other people like Archangel or Doom I didn't have because Doom wasn't even out at the time. But other than that, it's basically just good champions. You want to stick to good champions, but other champions like the champion. If you have a character that has a synergy with another character, but that character's trash, it still might be helpful. But like if you have all the Fantastic Four, that would be great because literally the Four synergy is very good. Venom the Duck is very helpful. I don't think I had him at the time. I might have. I might have to go back and look. But like basically, you want to level up anybody you can. Anybody who you know you're going to use. For example, person. I literally forgot his name. I just read it. I'm sorry, so sorry for forgetting your name. For example, I would level up Thing for you as much as I can. If you can to get him to maxed out, that would be good. But it doesn't have to necessarily have to be. Basically, rank 4 stars like Symbiote Supreme or Doom here as an example is what I have as a rank 4 star. Or rank 3 5-stars is kind of what you want to go for. For example, Quake or Havoc right here is a rank 3 5-star. The Thing is a rank 4 5-star, almost maxed. Venom is also, Human Torch is a rank 1 6-star. But for example, Black Widow, Clairvoyant is maxed out, so is Venom the Duck and the Champion. So I maxed out ones that I know would be useful for me. Clairvoyant is a very good champion, as well as Symbiote Supreme. I'm also doing 4 stars because I don't want you guys to think that you only have to have 5 stars to do it, which is not the case at all. You can use 4 stars. I've seen people beat Act 4 Maestro with 3 stars, and you can. It is possible, guys. So you can't just like you just use 5. You don't have to think that you just have to use 5 stars. It's not impossible. That's another thing I want to do is basically just give you guys hope. Like I don't want you guys to just give up halfway through and be like, I can't do this. And I want you guys to actually try to figure it out for yourself, and then actually attempt to beat it. Because some people will just give it halfway through and then stop playing the game because they're like, I can't beat this. I actually got 5-star in Darkhawk, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, that's basically it. So now let's go over some ways to get the benefits of it. So the benefits of Act frickin' 5. Okay, I was about to say Act 6. Benefits of it. We'll quit the quest right here. I'll show you all the rewards, but then I'll go over to crystals and explain some better stuff in better terms. I'll explain it as we get there. So basically, it gives you a new title as Uncollected, which your title is you can find next to the mastery in your profile settings. And it's basically you can just it gives you that title, and that title is specific things as well as proven, contender, and conqueror. I think it is this Act 2 one. I'm not too sure, but if you view that, it's not. I'm not even clicking on the right side. You can view all of them at the section at the top of the completed bar. So, for example, if you're on Act 3, you can view the Act 3 one. You can actually go back and view them as well. So, this is where all of those are. Act 6, for example, gives Cavalier Crystal Unlock, and Act 5 is what we're specifically focusing on. Act 4 basically just discounts Premium Crystal and other stuff. But Act 5 specifically, you get Uncollected difficulty is a good one, because there's the Uncollected difficulty on the event quest, which you cannot do unless you are Uncollected. It's not that hard for me anymore, but it's pretty hard right off the bat. Grandmaster Calendar Unlock, which basically gives you Grandmaster shards instead of those other shards that I literally forgot what it gives you. It's not premium. Other shards that it gives you for your other secondary calendar, the 14-day calendar. So the Grandmaster 14-day calendar gives you it gives you shards to Grandmaster crystals, which once you're uncollected, they will show up in your shard crystal section in the crystal store. And it's basically an upgraded premium hero crystal. It's the upgrade from a premium hero crystal and the upgrade from Grandmaster's Cavalier crystal. The Grandmaster crystals give you a 3 to 5 star chance at characters. Very rare. It's basically the same ratio as getting a 4-star from a premium hero crystal as getting a 5-star from the Grandmaster crystal. So I wouldn't recommend just buying them if you have 200 units sitting around. I would buy either. I would actually just save it for revives or progress, or just getting it. Crystal. Like if you have a lot of it, like over 1,000, you can do it. But basically, also farming units is a good thing to do, because if you don't farm them, farming. The definition of farming in games is you save it up, but you don't spend all of it right away. So if you spend all, you save a little bit of it, that way you can get back up back where you were, so it's easier for you. Which I did not do, which I should have done, but trust me, I messed up on that by not doing that. So yeah, it also gives you the Uncollected Arena Crystal. I'll show all you guys this, and when we get to the crystal store, for those of you who don't know, so Uncollected Crystal, we'll show the drop rates and all that. Uncollected Gold Crystal, Uncollected Daily Crystal, and Free Crystal, which are your normal generic ones. Premium Hero Crystal discount, I think, costs 60 instead of 100 as it normally does. Uncollected Title and Summoner's Sigil, if you have it, just gives you better stuff. So we'll go ahead and we'll go over there. I have quite a bunch of stuff, mostly just random stuff because I don't feel like opening it right now. I don't know why. It's just random stuff that I'm trying to stack up on, not opening it all at once. So yeah, as you can see here, Mega Egg and, for example, Spelunking Crystal. Actually, is that all? I don't think Spelunking Crystal is there if you have if you're not uncollected. Yeah. For example, oh, and yeah. Yes, I'm right. Okay, so basically, for example, I'll leave it so you can't see it right now. So if you're not uncollected, this is usually what it will pop up with, is Undermine Crystal and Egg. Is 2 to 4 star, is if you aren't collected, and those only cost 150. But when you become uncollected, these two will appear, which is Spelunking Crystal and Mega Egg, which is basically just the same, only upgraded to get better chances for them, as well as 3 to 5 star instead of 2 to 4 star. So, and those, except the problem for those, though, are so pricey. These are 300 units, and that is a frick ton considering I have 7. And which is just so sad. But basically, those are just new things that will give you. Grandmaster crystals are down here, right here next to the premiums. Usually, I only have 825. 4-star hero, 3-star crystals are the same. Featured and 5-star hero crystals, the 84 days. They generate new people in the featured ones every once in a while, but not for a while. But yeah, I'm broken just about all of these, except for 4-star. So in special, it doesn't really do anything. Those are all the same. And free crystal, I can get mine right now, but I'm not going to. I'll claim it, but I won't do anything with it. Well, actually, I'll go back in a second and look at the drop rates and stuff. But Uncollected Arena Crystal, there's not. It's basically the same, except it's got better stuff in it, of course, similar to the oil ones, just better stuff. Uncollected Daily Crystal has 4 stars in it instead of just 3 stars or 2 stars or 1 stars like the last ones. But the drop rates of getting a 4-star is just ridiculous. If I can even find where I don't even know where the drop rates are. I think you have to actually go into it to find the drop rates. Oh, I don't even think it gives you drop rates for those. Whoops, my bad. But yeah, all this other stuff has nothing to do with it right now. Uncollected Arena Crystal, you get that instead of Arena Crystal. Well, you actually get both, not instead of. Alliance Crystals are always the same. So basically, these are 10,000 battle chips instead of 2,000, which are pretty expensive. I would actually not recommend getting these Uncollected Arena Crystals unless you have just like 100,000 battleships sitting around, just getting old. But I would just get arena crystals because the chances of getting units aren't that bad. It's just less units. You can get 275, but it's risky because you won't mostly get one at a time. These you can get pretty good units just for getting 2,000. I would, if you had 10,000 battleships, I would spend it on getting 5 of these instead of 1 uncollected. But you can right off the bat if you want to. Just it's your choice. But yeah, see, there's Punisher, energy refill, 25,000 gold, a lot of them. So the drop rates in this one, they have gold units, energy refills, rare chance at a 5-star Punisher, which I'm still going for because every once in a while, because Punisher is literally my favorite mercenary other than Taskmaster. My 2 are Taskmaster, 3 are Taskmaster, Punisher, and Deadpool. But basically, drop rates, 5-star hero is such a slim chance. 4-star hero I've never gotten. Not from this or Alliance Crystal. Units, 15% chance is pretty bad. Gold is what you'll most likely get from both of these. In these ones, they're actually not that bad. The chance for units is not too bad. They're about the same. Actually, no, they are exactly the same, except for 3-star and 4-star heroes. The drop rates are the same, basically. Also, you can buy straight Grandmaster crystals instead of saving up the shards. But those are 200. I would not recommend getting that either, actually. I would just save them up for the shards. I wouldn't spend your units on these because 200 is a lot to spend. Just probably get like a 3-star. But 3 to 5-star, you can pull 5 stars with that. That's where I got 5-star Nightcrawler from one of those. But it was a shard one. Nova would be great. But yeah, see, the drop rates on these are just kind of ridiculous. Like 3% chance for a 5-star hero. So you're most likely getting a 3-star, possibly a 4-star. I've gotten 4 stars from those before. Uncollected Golden Crystal you can buy whenever, which is actually good. So I think you can with other ones too. No, I think you can't buy just straight gold or greater gold crystals. Somewhere in the shop you probably can. But specifically uncollected ones you can buy for 40 units just whenever. Which I probably should do because I am so broke in gold. I should probably just get a bunch of those eventually because that can give you some good stuff. I've gotten 50,000 gold from that before, and I need it because that's really what you need a lot of. And ended up saving up for characters because I used to have like 2 million gold, and then I like screwed myself over by donating some of it to Treasury, which is gone now. So I played myself on that one. So don't do that, guys. Just be smart about it. So spend it on upgrading characters or stuff like that. But, yeah, that basically covers it for crystals. There's not much other things besides, Summoner Sigil I don't have currently, but is down here. So you can get more stuff from that. Test of the Uncollected. And, yeah, I don't really think there's much over to go over. Basically, in a future video, I just don't want this video is like 32 minutes. Basically, in a future video, we'll probably do specific in-path guides. Specific paths to go over. I was gonna do it this video, and it's not clickbait. I just didn't feel I felt like it would be better for a separate video. So yeah, basically that's about it. There's not much else Uncollected does for you. It's actually pretty basic once you're Uncollected. It's not really that much different. So like, of course, including me, I felt this way too. Is before you're Uncollected, it feels so much different. Like it's gonna be so great, but then in reality, it's really not that great. Because it's basically the same stuff. It's basically just the drop rates of the crystals and stuff you get is basically the same. It just upgrades some stuff. So there are minor perks to it that are good, but other minor perks to it that are just kind of basic. Cavalier, though, which we'll cover in a future video, is something very, very good to get to. But I do hope this video helped you guys at least a little bit. Could have been a little bit more in detail, but I do hope you guys enjoyed it. So if you did enjoy it, go ahead and like and subscribe, and hit that bell notification to get informed on new content, and I will see you guys in the next video.